barley, idly, beside the green, green grass. Swing, swing, swing a spinning step. You wear those shoes and I will wear that dress. Kiss me under the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. That was the hit 1997 song, Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer, as sung by sitting U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell. This is a seed rake. I'm going to go see if this actually can neatly remove Stiltgrass. It's a horrendous invasive here, and it has a weird growing habit that I think that this might actually be able to take care of. So let's give it a shot. Well, we got a little patch of Stiltgrass here, and this stuff's horrendously invasive. It takes over whole ecosystems, and it's called Stiltgrass because it has this funny way of growing. Let's see if I can find a good example for you here. So you see these horizontal stems, and they actually will quite often along their length be sort of tethered to the ground by these little stilted roots. I guess that's why they would call it Stiltgrass. There's a good one right there. Don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can get a little closer there. So the stem's growing along. There's a little stilt root right there at the end of my finger. And so you can pull that out fairly easily. And this is just sort of a crisscrossing network of this stuff. So what I'm hoping is that the seed rake can get up under there, lift up the mat, rip it out. I did just try one little push over here with it before I started filming, and the answer is sort of. I think in denser, more thick mats of it, this would work better. I tried it also right there where there's just a few little sprigs, and it didn't really work at all. But let's try right here. Sort of shove it through there. And see that it is actually ripping out a good bit of it. It seems to be leaving some of the more native stuff behind. So knock it off with my foot. Roots up so they dry out and die, hopefully. This is important to do this time of year because this is when it is flowering. You can see right here that this one has a seed head, flower head about to pop out. So you need to get them probably even before this stage, really. It is an annual grass, and so this whole structure dies away over the winter, and next year it'll come back from seeds, and more every year because they seed prolifically. So in order to keep this invasion under control, I'm trying to go through and just sort of eliminate all the seed heads. Weed eater works pretty well, but they tend to put the seed heads right back out if you don't just destroy the whole plant or rip it all out. So that's what I'm trying with this seed rake. It kind of seems to work. Sort of. So maybe this is a tool that could be refined, and maybe if I built something with tines that are a little closer together, that might be pretty good. Something that sort of gets under there and pinches would probably be even better. But anyway, those 3 clumps that I just did right there are damage done to this, which is good. It needs to have some damage done to it. Lift up your open hand, strike up the band and make the fireflies dance, silver moon sparkling, and kiss me. So anyway, I wanted to loop back on this, if I can find a place to sit this, loop back on this and talk about this thing that I used earlier. Oh great, I dropped my axe. Alright, so earlier, oh, what is that smell? There's like a fish smell. That's these oyster mushrooms over here starting to go bad. I need to pick some of those. But yeah, this thing, I called it a seed rake because that's what it was called when I was using it on the farm growing up. And it apparently is not called that. I just looked it up while I was trying to start editing this video. And seed rake is something different. So I don't know what this is, but the reason why it kind of worked on Stiltgrass is it has these curves to the tines. The tines are very close together and there are lots of them. I think if we do something similar to that pattern, maybe more tines closer together, and then sort of do like a secondary wave thing there to kind of rip the grass out of the ground and bunch it up, that might work. So that might be something I fiddle with over the winter. But yeah, I used to use this thing on the farm that I grew up on, which was a tobacco farm. And we'd use it to like scoop up the little bits of tobacco that fell in the sand and recover those. So yeah, it was a pretty gross situation. It's a gross crop. It's a gross product. You know, don't smoke. And also don't treat your children like farm equipment, or else they'll be years and decades later editing out rants about their trauma. Anyway, I think it is that sort of close together tines swooping up thing. If we could put this on something that would like sort of slowly cruise through an infestation of the Stiltgrass, it might rip it out in fairly big clumps. You do that at the right time of year, maybe a couple times a year, could keep knocking this back.